My cheating wife begged me to take her back after her affair partner lost of everything she thought. I would forgive her just like all those other times, but this time I was done. I was done with Thales, the manipulation, the betrayal. 4 years I watched her drift further away from me, falling into the arms of someone else, all while I worked hard to provide the life we built together. It wasn't always like this. We had once been inseparable, a team, but somewhere along the way something changed. It wasn't just the late nights at the office, the long weekends spent working. When I knew she wasn't, it wasn't just whispers I heard in our small town, or the strange text messages I started finding on her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. No, the real betrayal came when she decided that the love we once shared wasn't enough, that she could seek excitement somewhere else. The man she had an affair with, Stan Morrison, was charming, smooth talking, everything he wasn't, and for months I didn't know he didn't know until Michael Hamilton, a colleague of hers, called me one day and dropped the bombshell that shattered the illusion. I'd been living in your wife's been seeing someone else, he said, as if words didn't sting. I think he outserved to know my world came crashing down around me in that moment. All those years of believing in her, of trusting her without questions, seemed to mean anything to her, and what's worse, she didn't even care about the devastation she was causing. She thought she could get away with it, thinking I wouldn't mend the affair, that I wouldn't care about the emotional toll it would take. But I wasn't that naive kid anymore. I didn't grow up watching my father's tuxedo ways only to repeat the cycle in my own marriage. No, I was dumb. The moment I found out, I confronted her. She didn't need it, of course. She played the victim, the misunderstood wife who just needed some space and hadn't meant for things to go that far. The audacity, the complete disregard for everything I had given her, made my blood boil. But I wasn't going to let her lie her way out of this. I had proof from Michael, from the investigator I hired, from the massages and the lies that piled up one after another. The worst part was she didn't even seem sorry. She acted like I should just forgive her, like we could pick up right where we left off, as if her affair hadn't ripped our lives apart. Day I found out, I didn't react the way she expected. I didn't scream, didn't cry. I didn't even beg her to stay. Instead, I calmly told her that the marriage was over. That's when she started begging me to forgive her, to give her another chance, to take her back like nothing had happened. But how could I take back someone who had shattered my trust in the worst possible way? She didn't just cheat on me, she destroyed everything with it. She left me no choice but to make her feel the weight of her actions, to make her realize that what she did had consequences. So I did what any person in my position would do. I made her pay. I waited. I watched her squirm as the man she had chosen over me lost everything. Stan Morrison, who had once seemed like a knight in shining armor, was now a shadow off the man he used to be. I let him fall, and when he hit rock bottom, I made sure me wife knew exactly what she had lost. He wasn't going to be her safety net anymore. No, she had made her bed with Stan, and now she would lie in it. The phone calls from her were relentless, but he never picked up. She tried to guilt Metri to pull at my heartstrings, but I had no sympathy left. How could I? Shouldn't care about me, not truly feminine her. A fair partner needed her. Shad jumped at the chance to abandon me. Her desperation grew as days turned into weeks. I had made up my mind, and nothing she could say would change it. But then the unexpected happened. She came crawling back. She called me, sent medics, left voicemails, and in everyone she begged for forgiveness. She claimed she had made a mistake, that she was sorry, that she would do anything to prove she was still worthy of me. But he wasn't so easily swayed. She had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. It wasn't just about the affair anymore. It was about the disrespect, the disregard for our vows, for the life we shared. So I decided it was time for my revenge, but it wasn't going to be quick or easy. I wasn't going to let her think that all she had to do was say sorry and everything would go back to normal. Number, I would make her feel the emptiness of our relationship, the way she made me feel when she turned her back on me. I ignored her for weeks, and the very time she came crawling back, I grew stronger. I made sure she saw that I was fine without her. I moved on with my life. I spent time with friends, reconnected with family, and focused on myself. And Asa, did she started to panic? She saw the man she had left behind thriving, growing again. She realized too late that she had made a mistake. I made sure she felt every single day. I let her see what her betrayal cost her. When Stan lost of everything, I didn't feel bad. I watched as he scrambled to piece his life back together, and when I saw her face as she realized he was gone for good, I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of satisfaction. I didn't want her back. I didn't need her anymore. The pain of her betrayal had forged me into someone stronger, someone who no longer craved her approval. I had found my peace in the house, and as the weeks passed, I felt more and more certain of my decision. The poor dynamic had shifted. It wasn't her making the decisions anymore. It was maybe even in the midst of my triumph, I couldn't escape the quiet ache in my heart. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about healing. It was a betray claiming the life. I had almost lost to her mistake. She had thought she could break me, but instead, I had emerged from the wreckage stronger than ever. And as I walked away from the wreckage of our marriage, I knew one thing for sure. I would never allow anyone to control my happiness again. My journey was just beginning, and the pain was starting to fade. It didn't matter that she begged me to take her back. I had already moved on in for the first time in years. I felt truly free.